All right. Welcome back to the More Than Different podcast with your host, Brendan McNamara. C-Mac, busy tonight. I think he's at a men's league game. He's always got something going on. So
Priorities.
we are without C-Mac, but we have a guest. There was a dialogue a couple months ago about making this happen and didn't quite make it happen in the summer, but we stuck with it. And I remember a couple weeks ago, had a little text exchange. We said book October 18th, 9 p.m. And we have CJ Happy in the building. That's right. His last name is Happy. Just special stuff. CJ, welcome to the pod. Good to have you here, my friend.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, you should be. Well, tell the people a little bit about yourself. I'm not gonna, just list off all the accolades and everything you're doing and where you're going soon. So why don't you pitch the people a little bit about CJ Happy?
Oh man, I don't know where to begin, but I guess I'll start with I'm a senior at Milton Academy,
Oh,
from Worcester area, Sterling, Mass. I committed to Princeton University, and I am a knapsack champion and a two-time Under Armour champion. Those are my big accolades right there.
yeah. With who? With who? Let's give a little pitch to the Middlesex Magic program here. Well, I already just said it with the Middlesex Magic.
Middlesex Magic.
CJ and I played for the same AAU coach, Coach Crotty, and Coach G and Coach Boyle. I remember CJ my senior year or my junior year. That was when that spring, I think it was your first sophomore year, right? Before you repeated, you came and I remember Crotty being like, oh, we got this new big. He's going to practice with us. And I remember just throwing you a dime on a pick and roll one time. And I was like, yo, and you were like, yup, good pass. I was like, yes, sir, big
Yeah,
fella.
you always
And
if
that's when I kind of knew he was destined for greatness and he had
we've had that connection since
oh
back in
yeah.
those days. It's been
And
a
he had
while.
Ivy League written all over him. So I'm gonna ask maybe one of the dumbest questions of all time as to your college decision. The answer is kind of in the question, but I'm still gonna ask it. Why did you choose Princeton University?
There's so many different ways that I could answer it, but overall, I mean, you answered it. It's Princeton University right now, number one in the country for academics, and arguably one of the best spots you could go for basketball and an education at the same time. I mean, that was a big thing for me going into my decision. I looked at a lot of high academic schools, coming from Milton. Obviously, you went to Nobles, you know what it's like with the college search.
100%.
But I took my official visit. I took an official visit to American. Then a day after, I took my official to Princeton. Then a day after, I took a visit to Holy Cross, and those were like my top three. And nothing felt the same as Princeton. I mean, the connections that I had with the coaches and the players on the team, specifically one kid from my area, Massachusetts, Jack Scott. Shout out Jack if he watches it, but I don't know. I think there was just a connection to everything on campus that I just fell in love with.
Yeah, there you go. Those are some great reasons. Along with, yeah, as you said, just the fact that it is Princeton fucking University speaks for itself. So that in itself, I'm sure that's a conversation starter for you. Yeah, I'm going to
Oh
Princeton.
yeah.
No big deal here. Princeton
Even
commit here. Yeah. So what well, we'll get away from the basketball temporarily. What do you think you want to study?
I'm thinking economics, finance, or like political science. I'm
Yeah.
kind of between, like, I have so many different things that I'm interested in, and I think I'm going in undecided, and I'm just going to take some classes in every single area because I
It's a
feel like
great call.
I find something every day that I think I could find an interest in to do after college and in my life. So
Yeah.
I kind of just be able to go in and explore. I mean, I talked to one kid on the team, Blake Peters, who was in like the School of Public and International Affairs, and a lot of the stuff that he talks about is super interesting. So who knows? I might end up there. But
Yeah.
obviously, econ's like a great route if you want to make the money. But who knows where I'll end up?
Yeah, that's good. Come in curious and you'll figure it out. I mean, I even a bunch of guys on my team after 1 year and just we had a ton of seniors last year. They told me like they did some pivoting. They came in like sports comm majors and then went to marketing or other way around. So it's not a 4 year contract. both for your
He-
major
yeah,
or where you go to college. That being said, I don't expect you to transfer out of Princeton University. I think you're at a
yeah, I
pretty
don't
damn
expect
place.
me to either. But I mean,
Never
like
know.
even yeah, even right now, like I'm taking a psychology class, and that's piquing my interest a little bit. So I might explore that avenue a little bit. But I mean, with everything being said, I have so many different options that it's going to be hard to pick when that time comes around.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, that's for the future you to figure out. No need to harp on that right now. All right. So our last episode, we our topic was keeping the main things the main things. You know, we have a lot of this fairy dust, Wolf of Wall Street reference, all this fugazi, just a bunch of bullshit that goes on that in high school specifically or in college still, because I fell victim to it, you think is more significant than it really is. But sometimes the key in life is figuring out what are your main things. So for you right now, senior year, you're committed, you know where you're going, you got the season coming up. It's a damn good time to be in your shoes. I remember it well. There's really no pressure. You're just with your buddies. What's kind of the most important things to you right now? Obviously the season, but what else are you kind of focusing on, whether it's just self growth or prioritizing just your joy and happiness? What are you kind of focusing on?
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm still really working hard in the classroom. I mean, I'm still not like I'm still like pending admission, so still working on keeping those grades up. And I've been working really hard this year just to try to keep straight A's, But that and then just self growth as a whole, getting ready for the season. But one thing that I've been really trying to work on is using my phone less. That's just been something that I've always wanted to do, and it's just been a
Yeah,
super
bro.
hard struggle. But yeah, I
Speaking my
mean,
language there.
yeah, no, the phones are a killer. I mean, I
Uh,
write about it in English class all the time. Me and my teacher are on the same page with this kind of stuff. Just getting out, exploring the actual world rather than just seeing it through your phone.
no,
That
it's a.
was that was like a big thing for me.
I love. So what are your what? How do you have strategies to minimize screen time? Like, you're trying to get away? I actually beginning of this college year. So if you're wondering if you've been snapping me, dude, and I haven't been getting back to you, that's because
Yeah, I thought you just didn't like me anymore, but
no, I hung up the Snapchat jersey at the beginning of this year, and I'll probably I can always re-enter the game, the My GM app as I like to call it, but it's neither here nor there. But no, I've gotten off it, and even just that small change has cut down my screen time like an hour or a couple hours. So it's like, are there any little changes you make or things you're conscious of throughout the day that you try to get your time down? Because I'm still trying to, so I might
I
be able
think
to
I
take
think
something
that's
from
gotta
you.
be. I think that's my next step is getting rid of Snapchat. That definitely takes up a lot of my time. Snapchat, Twitter, probably TikTok. TikTok's a big one. It's a dangerous
TikTok,
game because you go on and you find one interesting video, then you find 50,000 interesting videos.
100%. Yeah, to Snapchat to me, it was like, all right, dude, I gotta hang it up. I mean, what are you doing here? I get it. It is, it's an easy way to communicate. You show the face, a little smile, a little gabagool, forget about it. But it's like it's so artificial. You end up you're
Not
snapping
real.
just bullshit. It's not real. It's no kind of connection. You end up looking at people's stories. It's like it's all nonsensical shit, and you get immersed in it way too much. To me, it
Social
was
media as a whole is
as
just
a
kind of
whole for sure.
it's terrible. It's terrible. I mean, I literally wrote about it in an essay that's due tomorrow. I mean, social media is going to kill our future generations just because of no interpersonal contact and connections. Like it's all just going downhill. It's all hidden behind screens. And another part of it is just like comparing yourself to other people. That was one thing that I struggled with. I mean, even like this summer. I mean, I didn't have or last spring, like going into the summer. I mean, going back to basketball a little bit, like
Yeah.
I had I think I had like one or two offers. And then one day I just like everyone around me, like Austin was committed. My teammate from Milton, Austin committed. Nick Petronio committed. Then like a couple of the other Magic guys committed. And I didn't have that many offers, not much interest, like going into the live periods. And I texted my coach one day and I was like, am I doing something wrong? Like, I was stressing out a little bit because I keep seeing all these kids posting different offers, different things like that, and I was just comparing my path to theirs. But once the time came around, I started to blow up a little bit. And one thing I'll never forget is getting 2 offers in one day. That was a pretty cool experience because
Yeah.
it was really right after I had that conversation with Coach Reddix, and it kind of just like showed me like everyone's path is different.
100%. Yeah, no, everyone has a different trajectory, and you don't move linearly. Everything's like up, down, up. It's a roller coaster, and everyone moves at a different pace and responds to different things
But
in
even like the
various
social
ways.
media thing just causes stress like
It
that. I mean,
does.
it's brutal.
It does, and it goes back like again. So back to that initial question of like keeping the main thing, like that you get so immersed in that it's its own world that you enter out of obligation.
Yeah.
But it consumes you sometimes more than the things you should be consumed in the right things. So to you, it's been, the classroom, basketball, just being with the boys.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's senior year. I mean, got to keep my priorities where they are, basketball, academics. But I mean, living on my floor in the dorm just past that doorway right now, it's CJ Cox, one of my best friends, Austin Hunt, one of my best friends, Dylan Hunt, Austin's little brother. I mean, everyone on my floor is like my boys. So it's just like I'll be able to go do whatever, hang out, and then go back into my room, lock in, get studying in, whatever. So it's
Yeah,
just no matter where you go, you're having fun, even if you just need 5 minutes to take a little break.
I love that. I lived last year with a teammate who's my boy, and then I was with a random who I wasn't a huge fan of, but it's okay. This year I'm with like kind of my guys. I'm in a room with my roommate Peyton, and then there's two down the hall, and then there's a random. He just sits in his room, doesn't come out. He's a weirdo, but it makes a huge difference when you're just with guys who like you can fuck around with, laugh. Like, dude, I wrote a blog. I don't know if you saw it last week, but it's called "Laughing is Living." Dude, just
Yeah.
laughing with the boys, as simple as it is, it is the best feeling ever, and it puts in perspective sometimes just laughter. What's really important and what's not. You
And being
harp on
present.
100%. You harp on so much bullshit, whether it be social media or small problems that are insignificant. And when you just laugh with the guys, you realize how simple life is sometimes. You got your people around you, you got what's important to you, and you balance those things. That's really all it
Yeah.
boils down to.
Even going to your question of like what are your main things, it's like being present, like those moments when you're like even just like outside sitting in the common room with all the boys listening to music, playing poker, whatever, just hanging out, like it puts into perspective like you're not going to have this forever. Like enjoy it in the moment. Like I've been at Milton, I had 2 years before this year, and this is my last year, so just like enjoy it while I have it, because you're never going to have it again. Even like high school basketball, you're never going to have it again. Like
100%.
I'm sure you can reflect on that a little bit.
Dude, I
Like
can. And I missed a good portion of the senior year too to injury. And like, yeah, you get to college is awesome. College basketball is way different. The difference I tell people who ask, high school basketball is called boys basketball, college is called men's. That's how you
yeah,
distinguish the two. But like, yeah, man, just going to school with all your boys, like walking in the hallways and like, you get your team dress, all that shit. Like, dude, there's nothing like it. And then everyone's like, oh, there's a game today. College, at least where I go, Emerson, it's like people are just in their own world. So you're not as noticed. It's not as much of a like school camaraderie thing as high school is, and just playing with your boys, dude. Oh
yeah,
man, it's special.
it
So
makes
yeah,
all the difference.
enjoy it. Enjoy it. I'm glad you're so
I,
aware of it because it does
yeah,
pass people by and they think like, oh, I want to get out of high school, get me out of here, I'm ready. And then you get to college and you're like, damn, dog, like I had a damn good thing and I took it for granted. So it's a
yeah.
mature outlook to have.
Especially here, like last year, everyone on my team was like my best friend. Like all these kids are gonna be at my wedding. Like these guys are like my boys, like that. Like Nick, Jack, Gavin, Austin, everybody. This football players on our team, everyone. Like we just have that sense of like just like family on our teams, and like everyone is so close even off the court, and that's what makes it so much fun here. Like I'll tell the recruits when they come, like it won't be the same without me, Austin, Gavin, Nick, like all of us, but like they can rebuild that because it's like the same place. If you can rebuild it here, like it's special.
Yeah. Am I invited to the wedding?
Yeah, you'll be best man maybe. We'll see.
Let's go.
Maybe.
Let's
If,
fucking
only
go.
if you wear a scally cap.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I know. I brought the scally out today.
It'd have to be a little
Um,
bit more formal than the backwards though.
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, fine. Right on cue here. If this is what I gotta do to get the invite, then so be it. All right, let's transition into basketball. We'd be foolish not to talk ball because we're both basketball players, but we're gonna take a different angle on it. We kind of just talked about being in your head about starting shit. For you, what is kind of your like your mental approach to basketball? I think you hear it often, but it's like basketball is so mental. It really is because you put yourself in a gym on your own, just shooting around, which obviously it doesn't simulate competition, but like you're just so freed up mentally and you're at your best because you're just like trusting your instincts, you're playing. So for you, how do you try to replicate that when you're like, is there a certain kind of self-talk you have or a certain headspace you try to get in?
Yeah, I mean, I just always remember the why. Like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Like, what am I doing this for? Obviously, when you're going into a game, you're focused and like you're in that headspace, like the competition headspace. But it's all about just being grateful for what you have. And like for me, just like being grateful that I'm at Milton. Like a lot of kids from like Sterling, Mass don't know what Milton is.
Right.
And like when I go into a game, I want to have fun. I want to win, but ultimately I'm just playing the game. Like basketball aside, like it's just going out, having fun and trying to win. Like I don't care how many points I score, anything like that. I just want to win a game. Like I remember the Under Armour championship this year. I didn't score a single point, but I played almost the whole game. Like I just do the little things, and that's what I feel like makes me valuable on the court. It's not really as much mental, just like going out, having fun, and trying to win.
Yeah, but that being your approach frees you
Yeah,
up mentally because there's not
yeah. You're
this
not worried
pressure.
about mistakes. Like,
Right, right, because you understand what the main thing is in within the basketball game. What is the main thing? It's like, all right, it's winning and it's trying to impact winning individually, but yeah, people get so caught up in measuring their success and they get they're unwilling to alter what success looks like to them. Obviously in your high school, success to you isn't like, yeah, scoring zero and playing 32 minutes, that ain't a great game for you. You know what I mean? You'll be frustrated, something went wrong. But you're AAU, you're playing with other great players, which is similar to what college is like. And I went through it in AAU as well. It's okay, you need to alter what success is in a game for you. Maybe for me it was like, all right, can I come in, maybe drill a couple shots, get the ball to our fucking unreal shooters, not turn it over, be solid on D. I might only play, you know, 14 minutes because we have three Division I guards on the. It's like, that if that's a good game though, yeah, in high school a good game is whatever, 19, 20 points, but ultimately it's like, can you impact winning?
yeah,
And
I think it's interesting you bring up AAU versus high school because I totally feel like it's different the way that you
oh
approach it.
yeah,
You play a total different role on every team that you play on. And I mean, when I'm going on the floor in high school, I know that there's no big that's gonna outplay me.
no
Like
one can fucking guard you.
there's nobody on the floor stronger than me, nobody on the floor better than me.
No one
That's like
better looking.
that's the self-talk that I have going onto the floor. Like I still have that in AAU, but I know that my role is different. Like high school, I know that I'm taking over a game as soon as I step in. Like I'm the most dominant force on the floor.
In hell yeah, you are. So Matt, right there, let's go off that. Where do you develop your confidence? I mean, there's simple answers to this, but sometimes people find confidence in different ways. Where does your confidence come from? Because you need to have it in exponential amounts to be really
Yeah.
fucking good, especially at the highest level of basketball.
Obviously it goes back, like I said, just my why, like being a kid from Sterling, Mass. I wasn't really that good growing up, and I've just only been getting better and better. And I know that every time I step on the floor, I'm getting better than I was the last time I was on the floor. I mean, confidence, like you build it a lot in your workouts and lifting, like just on your own. But also, it's just like keep playing basketball, and your confidence is always going to go up, just like your skill, how good you are is always going to keep getting better. It's the same thing.
Yeah, and I think confidence sometimes comes from like a willingness to look stupid, a willingness to fail, to get your ass busted. Like when you, because that's sometimes the mental block or the fear when you're in a game. It's like, you worry, you try to come into a game and you're trying to predict what's going to happen. All right, I don't do this, don't turn it over, don't do that. It's like if you are willing to turn it over, or you like don't fear those things, then it unleashes your confidence, because you're like, yo, regardless of what happens, whether someone is guarding me this way, or I make this mistake, like I'll fucking handle it. I think people just worry so much about.
Yeah. And I mean, it goes back to playing free, just playing without restrictions, no pressure. It's just having fun, playing the game that you love. You can't forget. That's another thing. It's just like you can't forget that you love the game.
Yeah.
It's basketball. It's like top three important things in your life. I mean, you just can't forget that. And I mean, I think the confidence just stems from your love from the game and how much work you put into the game.
Yeah, I love that. And to the self-talk idea, I wrote about this in a blog last year. For my first college game last year, I was the most nervous I've ever been. I don't know why. I played in plenty of big games, AAU. I played against, with all due respect to Gordon, I've played against better players than they had, but I was so nervous. It's my first college game. I knew I was starting, and it's like, I don't know if it was, it's obviously like performance anxiety. That's normal, but it was like a little bit of fear. It's like, you get semi doubts and you're like, why the fuck? And it's like in those moments, you want to hear something from someone else. And I had a teammate actually, who's now my assistant coach. He was a grad transfer last year. He came up to me and was just like, yo, have fun today. Like you're ready for this. Like go have fun. And that just freed me up so much. But what it also reminded me of is like, I could have told myself that. So it's like, if that's what I needed to hear from someone else, it's just like if you're in a shooting slump and you've missed 7 shots in a row, all you want to hear from your coach is, yo, fucking fire the next one. And then you're going to be like, oh, I'm drilling the next one. But in your mind, obviously, you're like, fuck. But why can't internally you tell yourself that? If you can get to the point where your own self-talk is all you need and you're not relying on other people, I feel like that's when you really become unstoppable, and that's when you unleash like your full potential. Yeah. So I'm working on it, dude. But I think that's something to be. First, it starts with being aware of it, because I remember being told that little thing. I was like, the fuck? I can tell myself that. I can tell myself these things in the middle of a game. I'm up at the free throw line. It's like, yo, dude, I'm about to drill these.
That was one of the biggest things that I learned. I made my jump in basketball was from my first year at Milton to my junior year. Like that winter, spring, and summer were like when I started to realize like, oh shit, like I'm pretty good. Like I'm better than the normal kid. Like I'm gonna do this. Like basketball is my thing. Like obviously I came to school for basketball, but like
Right.
I still wasn't confident in myself. And I vividly remember my first couple of games in a Milton jersey, like just like you said, performance anxiety, like nervous, like not used to the speed of the game. Like obviously you practice and stuff, but it's different when you get in the game setting.
Right.
And I remember I missed so many layups, so many shots. I was doing all the wrong things. Like you can ask anyone on my team. Like my first year at Milton, my field goal percentage was terrible. But as soon as I started to learn to play free and just, I remember Coach Reddick's just saying, just like play without pressure, have fun. I mean, those are words that you need to hear in those moments. And like once I made that jump from sophomore year to junior year, like last year I turned into a beast. Like I would argue that there was no one better than me, like holding down the fort, like my position, like I was that guy.
Yeah, you are that guy. You are that guy. I'll second that. You are that guy. I love it. So where saw some tweet a couple days ago from Jay Billis. There was a video, and he said there's a difference. I'm sure you might have seen it. There's a difference between playing and competing.
Mhm.
How where does your competitive edge come from? I this year, actually, in the last 2 years, I figured out what it is for me. But I want to hear what it is for you.
My competitive edge just stems from always being overlooked. Like all growing up, I was like always slow. Like I was always tall, but I was always goofy. Like I couldn't jump. Like going back to my sophomore year, like I couldn't dunk like off vertical. Just like I couldn't dunk really. Like I have so many videos of me like slipping, looking goofy, and I just got tired of that. Like I started to put in work like off the court, like starting to really learn the game, like learn how to jump, how to do those things, just because I didn't want to be that goofy kid and I wanted to be the best player on the floor every time I stepped on the floor. Like I never want to look stupid, but I always just want to be the best that I can be. Like I want to be the best no matter what.
Savage, dude.
I mean, what is your competitive edge? Like where does that stem from?
I think for me, what I've realized it is in the I guess I never put a really pinpoint it, but since I've been to college and last year, the jump like college grind is just different. And obviously, Division 1 it'll be even harder. But like college basketball, period, regardless of division, is a grind. It's a commitment. It's a mental warfare, physical toll, all of it. Um, and what I realized is, I think I've really even realized this fall, as we're first official practice was the other day, so we're now in season, is that you put in all this work, you do it all summer, you go to the just workout on your own, you get shots up, you simulate shit that happens in a game on your own, and you get up and you got to go lift and you do all this shit. Someone has to pay for the pain you got put in. Someone's got to pay for it. And that someone is whoever you go against. And it's like, I put in all this fucking pain. Now you're going to pay for this suffering. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to feel the pain. Or like, I'm going to go at you and I'm not leaving nothing in the tank because I had to put in all this bullshit. And then people always like, love the process. No, you don't always love the process. Okay. That's a cliche. That's a cliche that people always say. You don't always love it. You got to fucking do it because the reward can be so damn good. And the chance to go dominate people feels so fucking good when you really let yourself unleash from that work you did. But you're not always going to love it, but someone's got to pay for it. And I think that's where I've been trying to harness that. Or I plan to this year because I've been more aware of it. I think it's always been that, because it's like you put in all this work, now show it. But it's more like you put in all this work to go fucking destroy someone on the other end. So we do that.
That's an interesting perspective. Like, I haven't personally thought about it. Like I'm doing all this work. Who am I going to go kill? Like who am I going to dominate with all the work that I've put in? So, I mean, that for me as just going into college, that's a good thing for me to hear. So I appreciate
Hear that. Go take that and go, dominate the NEPSAC again this year. I know you're gonna, but like, that should ignite you because, it's like, brother, shit's a grind every day. And obviously, again, you do it because you love it, but day to day, just like anything, highs and lows, there's days where you got to lean on your discipline to do the work that's necessary because it takes what it takes. But, I mean, you do it ultimately to go out and compete and fucking destroy people. So, go
that's that's a big thing for me right now, especially like we got 4 captains this year for our Milton team, and because we got a lot of young guys, and
yeah,
we're trying to teach them our ways, and I think that's like a big lesson that I want to teach them. Like Coach Reddick has put the job on us to show them what it takes to win a NEPSAC championship, win an ISL championship, and that's something that we've been working on with them, is just showing them the discipline that you have to really win and to outbeat your competition every time. It's not just getting in the gym like every once in a while. It's repetitive things like getting in the weight room on time, being everywhere on time, doing everything the right way. and just going in and doing things on your own is a big thing in a team like area because you're only as strong as your weakest link.
Fact. And that's all what you just said. That's all habits. That's work habits. Great transition here. CJ, what we ask our guests this pretty often, and I hope don't give me no bullshit answer here. What are your best habits? What are your worst habits? Give me as many as you want or as few as you want.
My best habits. Actually, I want to start with the worst because we've already talked about it. I mean, this thing right here.
This thing, yeah, me too.
Terrible.
Me too.
Terrible. But we can get away from that. My worst habits probably be sometimes my eating. I mean, like we DoorDash all the time here.
What do you
DoorDash is
get?
like
What do you get?
there's a tavern down the street. I'm not gonna drop the name. It's just Lower Mills. It's in the Lower Mills area of Milton. But until they start to give us some money back, because everyone in my dorm spends a lot of money at this place. But I had it before I got on here, if I'm being honest, because I missed it. But yeah, I eat out a lot, and that hurts my wallet a little bit.
Nope, leaves a dent.
Yeah. And then another thing with eating is like I love ice cream. Like I'm not a big sweets guy, like candy, like desserts and stuff, but I just love ice cream. Like ice cream's my thing. And then
What ice cream?
there's so many, but I'm a big like Americone Dream guy. Ben and Jerry's are like Talenti's pretty good. But yeah, those are two things that are in my eating habits that I want to change going forward and kind of get away from. Another like not bad habit, but I like to like in the middle of the school day, if I got a free period or something, I'll spend the time in my room. I mean, just get away from the contact a little bit. I mean, being around a lot of people all the time can be a lot, especially if you're trying to really focus on your grades and everything, focus on basketball. So I come to my room a lot, I just lay in my bed and just chill here. But I want to
It's
work
a good
on
habit.
it's good and bad, because you miss out on a lot and you miss
Yeah.
like going back to earlier, just being present where you are. Like
Right.
sometimes I wish like I could just be on my grind alone, like without the distractions of the other people, like not necessarily ones that I live with, but like just not always like having to be around a ton of kids at the
A
same
group.
time.
Oh, I get it. I know it was there. I did it, and then I'd still feel that guilt, but I would always, if I had a lot of shit to do, I'd try to find, because the school's small, but it's also pretty big. Try to find some place, on my own and get some shit done. But then, yeah, in the back of your head, you're like, fuck, all my boys are in the library, like sitting at the table playing poker. Or, it's like,
exactly.
I mean, you got to pick your spots. You got to pick your spots.
And I mean, it's not that I don't like the kids. It's just I like to be like I want to get my stuff done by myself. Like, yeah, bang, bang, bang,
Bang,
just
bang,
like
bang.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, yeah, those are probably my worst habits. I mean, people will just say like I'm in my room all the time, but it's just trying to take a break. Just
Yeah, do what you need.
a little bit. And I'd say my best habits are my routines. I'm a very routine guy. Like,
okay, now give me the routine. All right, I like where you're going, but sometimes people like Giordano, the best. We love G.
We'll have to get into that a little bit.
We fucking love G.
We'll have to get into it a little bit.
And I've already given him shit on a different episode about his answer, but I asked him his best habit, and I don't even remember now, but I think it was my work ethic. That's a character trait. That's a character trait, not a habit. So give me the routine. Now I want the routine.
Well, I'd say, would you consider a routine a habit? Because it's something that you do every day.
Well, your routine is something you do daily. So what are the things within the routine? Those are the habits.
I mean, I wake up at 7:00 on the dot every day.
Habit.
Go in. I don't go on my phone before I do anything during the day. That's a big thing.
Wow, that's a great one.
Yeah, because you can get stuck just laying in your bed trying to go back to sleep just because you're laying on your phone or just laying there sitting on your phone.
So where do you put your phone when you go to bed?
It's right next to me, but
you just have the discipline not to grab it?
Yeah, I don't go on it because I got stuff to do. But like, I'll get up, you know the guy. Have you ever seen Kick the Sheets?
Yeah.
I don't kick the sheets, but like I don't do it. There's no BS after I wake up. I get out of my bed, put my shower slides on, grab my shower stuff, go take a shower, come back,
Are you a
and
cold shower guy?
I am a cold shower guy. Cold shower
Good, good.
every
I
cold
love
shower in the
that,
morning
dude.
and at night, both.
Let's go.
I've been on that for a while now.
So
It's a
good.
big thing. I've been putting people on in the dorm too, and they love
Bro,
it.
great habit. You're on a roll, dude. Keep these
Yeah,
coming.
but go in, take a shower, brush my teeth. Same thing every day. Brush my teeth, mouthwash, come back, get dressed, go down. And I'm always like one of probably first five people in the dining hall every day. Because my reason for that, and I sit in the same spot every day in the dining hall. That I don't know if it's just kind of just happens, but it's also like I sit in the same spot every day. So I don't know what the reasoning is, but I just like the routine.
Creature of routine, dude.
Yeah. So same thing. One of the first ones there, and my English teacher, the one I was just talking about, always sits in the same table, like right next to me. So it's kind of like a thing every morning. I'll go in and say, "Morning, Mr. Goodman," like say what's up, talk to him a little bit. And then from there on, just friends show up to the dining hall, do that. And then it's just kind of the start to the school day. I don't really have like a school day routine as
Yeah,
much
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's just
That's all
like
right. Now give me the other nitty gritty.
the other nitty gritty, probably my nighttime routine, because I think that's how you get the best sleep is having like a just a nighttime routine.
Yeah,
Like,
walk me through it because I need to get better sleep.
well, the same thing, like going to sleep, I feel like you just need to create some sort of routine. It doesn't matter like what it is you just got to do the same thing to get your mind ready to go to sleep. Like we have study hours 7:30 to 9:30, so I'll spend that in the like library doing whatever, then I'll come back, hang out with the boys until like 10:30 because we'll have runs and stuff before that, so I'll already be showered and stuff and just like chilling for the night. Then I'll come in, just chill with the boys, and then once I realize like it's time to go to sleep, like I'll take vitamins, whatever. Then I'll go in, wash my face, brush my teeth, do like lotion, whatever, just a little skincare, keep the face pretty.
Dude, you look
But
unreal. You look fucking
gotta
unreal.
keep gotta keep the face a little bit
Yeah, I
pretty.
know. I need to clean up. People don't comment about the no shave job in a couple weeks. I got no one to impress out here.
But yeah, I just go in, it's the same thing, brush my teeth, get the skin right, and then I'll just go in, go to bed. I always listen to something going to bed. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but
I think it's
listen to a
good.
bunch of podcasts, YouTube videos, and then I try to be asleep by 12 o'clock. So I'm getting at least 7 hours of sleep every night.
I like it. That's realistic. People will be like, I try to get to bed at 10, give
No,
myself at least eight and
it's
a
not
half or
happening.
nine. It's like, it just ain't happening, dude. It just ain't happening. I love that. All right. Wow. Really gave us the CJ Happy day in the life there. That I like what you're building. I like what the happy camp's got going
Yeah.
on.
Another one thing that I'm trying to get into is like journaling. I got a
There you
journal.
go.
It's
I told you
I've
about
had
how I journal. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it in the summer. It's kind of like because I've done it before, but I haven't been like I can't get consistent with it. But I got it right here. You know, it's
Oh,
trusty little journal. But
let's go, dude.
I just
Where's
I
mine?
want to I'm trying to get consistent with it. It's kind of tough because it's like you're always busy. You can't find the right time. But when I do journal, good things happen. Like
Dude, I'm telling you.
I was going through it. I'll show you this. I was going through it today. This was from where is it? From January 2023. It's like doesn't have a specific date, but it's a checklist. Semester 2 goals. Let me read these off to you.
Yeah, fire them off to me.
Knapsack championship,
Bang.
accomplished season goals, which I had like double digit rebounds, points, whatever. Like just like what I wanted to personally
Yeah.
accomplish. And I have received more offers. Under Armour spring champions, Under Armour summer champions, straight A's, get stronger, more conditioned, and more athletic. Commit.
Where's get on the MTD pod?
That was for my semester 1 of this
Yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude,
But
bang,
as,
bang, bang,
as you
bang,
can see,
bang. That's
Yeah,
unreal, dude. I'm telling you, there's nothing better than seeing something in writing, and especially knowing you did it at a
yeah,
certain date. I recommend what I do is with all my entries, and it is hard to get consistent, but once you miss a day, you feel all out of sync.
yeah.
So then,
And I bet for me it would feel really crazy because as soon as I get into my routine, it just
yeah, yeah, for you, exactly. So once you just got to get yourself to that point, but keep dating all your entries, because
yeah.
then one of the coolest parts of journaling, and I talk highly of journaling on the pod often, but it's the reflection aspect, because
Mhm.
you have a log of, because one day I want to write a book. I'm gonna write a book, and I have about 9 journals that I've completed over the last couple of years, and at some point when I'm ready, I'll be able to look back on them and be like, hopefully I can draw some good little quotes from it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, keep it up there. I love
One
the
that same English teacher I've been talking about. I've been talking about him a lot this podcast, but maybe I'll have to show it to him. But one thing that we did, I had him last year and this year. So last year it was a people in the natural world class, and we all had to keep a nature journal. And it was like throughout the year we kept it, did 4 entries before we submitted it to him. And then the last assignment of the year was a nature journal essay. So it was kind of like reflecting on all your entries and showed a lot about like how my feelings and how I, myself changed throughout the year. So I personally saw like what it can do for a school assignment, which I thought was pretty cool for
yeah.
him to assign something like that.
I know those school. I remember we had so many like productive assignments at Nobles too, where you really get something from it and you can take it externally
Yeah,
beyond just an assignment. So it's
yeah, it
good
teaches you
shit. Yeah, it
more about
does. All right, we got. I'm gonna go 2 more questions here. What are you ambitious about beyond just basketball? And you can mix that with the fact, or combine that with the question of like, for people who don't know you or have you misunderstood, what more is there to you? Obviously, being more than different, it's about seeing more in yourself. For
yeah.
me, it's like I was always with basketball, basketball, basketball. And then it was like, all right, there's more. Now, basketball is still, a key part. But for
Yeah.
you, what is that more in you that people might not know, but you got?
Obviously people know me as the tall, happy kid. Like that's the first thing they like. A lot of people say like whenever they see me, I got a smile on my face. But there's so much that has gotten me to this point that I feel like I'm much more mature than a lot of people around me because I've had some crazy things happen to me for being so young so far. And I think one thing that I'm ambitious about is just always proving that you can do more. I mean, neither of my brothers finished college.
Wow.
I'm gonna go to an Ivy League school. Like my brothers went to Wachusett. I'm at Milton Academy. So I'm just keep trying to prove to myself and to everyone that you can always do more than like like you're perceived to do. Like I'm the youngest of 6.
Wow. I didn't know that.
So that obviously that shows a little bit of like I can learn from a lot of other people and I learn from their mistakes and I just want to become the best version of myself no matter what. So that's one thing I'm ambitious about is just proving to myself that I can take it one step farther every step of the way. Like first it was going to Milton. Next it was playing Under Armour. Next it was getting offers. Next it was going to Princeton. So as my life will always be evolving and I feel like I'll always be evolving like as a
Yeah.
person too.
You're always, this was another blog and episode we had titled Always Becoming. You're
Mm.
never arriving at the person you are. When the only time you arrive, as dormant as this will sound or morbid, is when you die. But we're always becoming, whether we're going downhill or we're going up. We're
And
always
yeah,
chasing.
I think you learn a lot at your lowest points. That's one of the things that like everything happens for a reason. Those are like the things I've lived by because like I said I've been through so much. I lost one of my brothers last year and
Sorry for
that
that.
that it was during the basketball season right before like one of our biggest games. And I think that moment like flipped the switch in my head like okay, you have something to prove like there's more to life than just like the superficial like outside distant things like you have people that rely on you, and you just want to appreciate everything that you have. And that's kind of a big thing. Like that's something that I learned from that experience. Like I love my brother and I'll always live for him. Everything I do is for him. But you just got to keep proving to yourself and the people that believe in you that you can keep going. Just like keep that's like one of the things that I do, that my mottos is just keep going.
Just keep going. I love that. I love that. All right, last question here, CJ. Great answer there. That was profound.
I didn't mean to make it
No,
to take it.
no, no, no. That's what it's all
I,
about, dude. That's what it's all
I'm
about. No,
I'm
no, no.
open, like I'm
That's what's
open to talking about that kind of stuff because it's real struggles. Like people
real,
face
man.
that stuff. Like people face that, and sometimes people don't know how to come back from that. So one of my goals in life is teaching like kids, like I don't know, Caleb Joseph, like
Yeah, yeah.
what I want to do something similar to what he's done because he was actually one of the people that I was talking to during that time when I was going through that. And he taught me so much about just like how to bounce back from things. And Coach Reddix too. Those are all just important people in my time, in my life, that like helped me through those kind of things.
Yeah, man, I love that. No, that was amazing. I hope people, the goal of the pod here is people to listen, be inspired, and hopefully relate. A lot of these topics, it's relatability, and whether it's different aspects, different interests, different backgrounds, but there's often a common denominator of relatability with some of these things. I think a lot of people experience loss in different ways. They respond in different ways, but we all hope to, find our way back to a state of being peaceful and, drawing strength from something like that. So, very mature beyond your years, which I already knew, CJ. But last question here. What does success look like to CJ Happy in 5 years from now?
Oh man.
No, yeah, it's all right. The answer can be as surface level or as in depth as you want. That you'll be done with college.
Yeah,
Where
it's
you
hard,
are
it's weird
now,
to think like I'll be done from college in 5 years.
it is.
But I think first step is finishing out high school the right way. Finishing out on a high note, ISL championship, NEPSAC championship, and then obviously graduating. Those are I'm staying present still, want to get these things done, but I want to win an Ivy League championship, make it to March Madness, have a run similar to how we did last year.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, just kind of explore. I want to travel. That's a big thing for me is maybe after college, I want to try to play overseas somewhere. That's because before AAU, my sophomore year for Under Armour, I had never been on a plane before. I never like explored beyond New England really. And that really opened my eyes going to Kansas City, like Indianapolis, Atlanta, Chicago, Arizona, Las Vegas, all these different places that basketball has taken me. And I just want to see what the world is like without basketball. Like I want a place that I really want to go is like Rome and Greece. I'm
Yeah.
really I'm really into like history and stuff, just seeing how we evolve as people over the years. And I think going and witnessing like in person would be huge for me. And that basketball aside, that's one of my biggest goals is just traveling the world and experiencing different cultures and
Well,
see it just
hopefully you can
the world.
compare basketball with that, being able to play
That,
overseas.
that's why I would some people would debate with me, but for me personally, I would rather play overseas than be stuck on an NBA roster or G League roster somewhere like Detroit or some crazy place in the US. Like,
Who knew Detroit was gonna catch a stray?
yeah, who knew we could give it to a couple different
Yeah,
states.
oh, yeah, yeah, we
But
could. Yeah,
no offense to Detroit, but I would rather be stuck in like Germany or Italy playing ball than just playing somewhere in the middle of nowhere, United
yeah,
States.
playing for the Sioux Fall Heat, the
Yeah,
Miami
some
Heat G
yeah.
League in North Dakota.
They're the Maine Celtics, dude. Come on, like
the
Maine,
fucking Maine Red Claws, dude.
Yeah, same thing. But I love Maine, but I just want to see what's across the world from here because there's so much that you can learn.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. I love that. I love that. I too would love to travel. So
Maybe
maybe
we
I'll
can
come
go
out and
together.
maybe yeah, we'll either we'll go together or maybe I'll come out and see a game 5 years from now. But we will have the receipts on the pod
We
here.
will.
And
We
I
will.
believe in you, and I damn sure think all of that's attainable. But yeah, I love that, stay in the moment, and you got so much ahead for you, both this year and years to come. And you got me in your corner. You got a ton of people in your corner rooting for you. Um, but man, this has been great. I'm glad you came on the pod, CJ. This was a special episode. I had speaking of performance anxiety, I had a little jitters all day, dude. I had
You're
a
a
little
little
jitters.
nervous.
I had no practice today, and I was like, all right, I gotta have my A stuff tonight. Like we haven't podded in a little, we haven't had a guest in a while. And I was like, I legitimately had some pregame jitters. So like we said, you
How'd we
just
do? How'd we do?
we did damn great. And I was just saying to myself, self-talk, self-talk, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. And
Not good.
sure it was. CJ, thanks for coming on the pod, friend of the brand. You epitomize what it means to be more than different. So keep living that out, be authentic, and keep being ambitious, dude. Keep leading people around you because you're leading your own life. And once you can lead yourself is when you can lead others. And I think you're leading yourself in a very impressive way. So keep leading others.
Well, I appreciate all those words. I mean, it means a lot coming from you, someone that I admire, from obviously playing against you to seeing what you're doing now, running your own business. That's a huge milestone, something that I really admire and I could see myself doing too. So that's a means a lot coming from you, B Mac.
Appreciate that, CJ. You're my dog. I love you. Thanks for coming on the pod. And
We got we got to give a shout out,
yeah,
Coach G. Putting us together.
This podcast is brought to you by Gold Standard Hoops, the highest standard of
Chris
basketball teaching.
Giordano. He would hate that I call him Chris, but thank you, Chris.
Yeah, led by Chris Giordano. And that's how CJ and I connected a lot this summer as we were working the Gold Standard basketball camps.
A whole lot of Qdoba lunches.
Yeah, yep. Qdoba to the moon. If we could get a Qdoba sponsor on the MTD pod, that would be great. I'll tell you, give us the ball. And I don't have enough great things to say about Qdoba. Certainly the one in Wellesley, they run a tight ship. So
Besides them being mad at me for taking a water cup and putting some
oh yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
you tried to finesse the lemonade in the water cup. They were like, nah, that's not gonna happen. So shout out to Gold Standard, shout out to Qdoba.
And Middlesex Magic too, of
And
course.
Middlesex Magic, Coach Crotty, and the whole juggernaut they got going. If it wasn't for them, me and CJ, this pod wouldn't have happened. We wouldn't know each other. But guess what? It did happen because everything happens for a reason. CJ, thanks for coming on the pod, brother. Get this around Milton Academy, okay? You're the
But I
fucking
gotta say
voice.
another thing is go Milton and beat Nobles.
No, fuck Milton. I didn't want to have to take it there. I really didn't. But
I'm speaking at a Nobles Day athletics admissions thing next weekend. So
oh baby.
I'm gonna be spreading the hatred of
All
Nobles
right,
to
all
Nobles.
right. Hey, all's fair in rivalries. All right, all's fair, but it was never the Mustangs. That's all I have to say. All right,
All
brother.
right.
Joy, go dominate this year. Keep being you. We'll be in touch.
Appreciate it, B Mac.
Peace.